500 or 10,000 for transportation. The Cameroonian who earned 60,000 francs in Cameroon's commercial capital is left now with approximately 15,000. Now, let's take it down into context. If he has to transfer credit, communication credit in his phone, let's say he puts 7,000 a month, he is left with a minimal salary. If he has to take care of his health, he's also left with nothing. Now, if he has to save, not to talk of feeding, all these are the things that Cameroonians were expecting the president of the republic to also address as far as this economic hardship is concerned. Within this context, therefore, there is an applaud that many Cameroonians are applauding the president for the construction of some basic infrastructures in Cameroon. But as it is always said, as Oliver Twist, many want more to be done. This is House of Commons with me, Tah Mai Javis. You're welcome back. If you are just joining us, you're watching House of Commons, and this is the very first edition for 2023 as we have ushered in a new year. It will go down into the annals of history that we all, those of you watching online and also those watching at your homes, that you saw 2023 and you conquered 2022. Here in the studio, we are going to look at some very important aspects in terms of the President's State of the Union address. We're looking at Biya's end of year speech, the way forward for 2023 in Cameroon. And we are also going to give you the opportunity for you to call out, send us SMS or text message to wish your loved ones Happy New Year. You have the time to call us on the numbers that will soon be displayed on your screen. It is 676-431384. 676-431384. You can contact me or you can call in terms of wishing Happy New Year to some 5 persons, and also what you a reaction as far as the speech of the president is concerned. Joining us in the studio, we have Mr. Kimbeng Vitalis, who is a member of Cameroon's People's Democratic Movement. We are also expecting Mr. Suleman from the Social Democratic Front, SDF in Keubou, who is supposed to join us to discuss on Biya's end of year speech and vis-a-vis what way forward for Cameroon in 2023. Mr. Kimbeng Vitalis is a regular with us. Happy New Year and thanks for joining us.
Happy New Year, Javis. Happy New Year to all the viewers. Happy New Year, especially to my family, to my wife, Madame Berenyu Yvonne, and to my little son, Kimbang Samuel Buknui, and the rest of those who are following us on social media and those who are following us on television.
It's a privilege for us to have you. Yesterday was not easy, as many who had longed to see 2023 could not see it. The Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI died on the 31st of December at age 95.
It's true. He has lived his life, and that's why we all say that there's nobody who's a Methuselah. There's nobody going to live on earth forever. So he lived his life. At least we are like, our lives on earth is like a theater stage where we act our own part, and when it is over, we all go away. So we all can only pray that God should keep him where he will have eternal rest and rest well.
And thank you very much, all those of you watching us on social media. We want to acknowledge you, Sue Javis, who just sent us a message, say Happy New Year to all of you there. Mustafa Muhammad says, I wonder why countries in the desert have enough potable water supply, whereas Cameroon, naturally gifted with all water sources, lacks potable water supply. This other one, right, he says, this is Bushi Daily Update. He says, yes, so this other one, Mayor Desmond Emma, say, okay, now all those of you watching us from Facebook, VSP Joel Coleman, we want to say Happy New Year to you. If you are watching us from Facebook or wherever you're watching, you intend to send an SMS or you intend to participate in the program, you can call us on the numbers 676-431-384 and wish Happy New Year to some key persons, and also send us a text message as far as your reaction from the head of State of the Union address is concerned. I begin with you, Mr. Kimbeng Vitalis. What before were your expectation of President Biya, your chairman of your party and the head of state of Cameroon?
Yeah, Javis, I want to say that President Paul Biya was very honest in his speech, because he acknowledged the difficulties that Cameroonians are passing through in this 2022, and he went ahead to tell us that we should face 2023 with a lot of hope and determination. The president's speech can be summarized into three topics. He talked about the economy, politics, and the social life. So he dwelled much on the economy because it's what has been a turn to most of our flesh. He calls on Cameroonian. He said that despite the difficulties we have gone through as far as economy is concerned, we were able to move forward with the growth rate of from 3.6 to 3.8, which is laudable. And he also went further to tell us that the government has been doing all the effort to fight the influx of foreign goods into the country. And so Cameroon government is bent at promoting homemade product. That's Cameroon-made product. So he said 2023, we have a lot of natural resources that has not been exploited. And lucky enough, as he said, he has already signed contracts with companies that will start to extract iron ore. And this iron ore, they could bring a lot of development. We have the Kibi Lobe iron ore. We have the Mbalam Nebaba iron ore, which will go on this year. And we have the BPND Grand Zambi iron ore project, which we all expect that at least will go on this year. Then he also acknowledged the fact that we have epileptic energy supply, and he called on those in charge to make sure that those things are provided in 2023. Then he also acknowledged the fact that most Cameroonians have been suffering from lack of potable water, and he has instructed those in charge to make sure that 2023 should be a different year. When it came to politics, he talks about the decentralization, which is ongoing, and we are hoping that this 2023 is going to be a different year. Then when it came to social, it was as if I have discussed with my father, President Paul Biya, before he delivered his speech. He called on all Cameroonians to exercise civil responsibility. He acknowledged the fact that on his own, he cannot do it. He called on educators to make sure that our children are given the right education, and he also acknowledged the incivility, like we talk about the Macrop in Douala and the rest. He also called on us to be examples to our children. Everybody should be an example to his or her child. And he called on us to be responsible wherever we are given the chance to save this nation, because we cannot hang everything on the neck of President Paul Biya. So I think his speech was so honest and so straightforward. I know that some Cameroonians, they might be disappointed. I think what he said is what has been done, and we are expecting that the little promises that he made will be accomplished this year. I know that many Cameroonians were expecting big word, grand ambition, grand realization, and the rest. But this time around, the president was how can I put it? He was so straightforward in the way he put things, so that Cameroonians should understand what is really happening in this country. Okay, those of you watching us on social media, I want to acknowledge you, Damian
Want to acknowledge you, Damian Emeni, who say Happy New Year to my Media Prime family. Mark Macaulay, who said Happy New Year to my Media Prime family. One day, I want to acknowledge you, Fonyo Stallone, say Happy New Year, Tah Mai Javis, and all panelists in the studio. Gerard, writing from Dubai. Gerard, Happy New Year, and also Song Derek, Happy New Year to you. Nothing spoiled. Happy New Year to you. You raised some issues that President Biya was very honest in his discourse. I want to do a quick follow-up as far as some of the things you articulated in his speech in terms of the words you used, looking at honesty, and also let's look at the reality on the ground. First of all, the president made mention of the fact that the economic growth rate which you talked about, which moved from 3.6 in 2021, moved to 3.8 in the current context. We'll be taking calls in the next 15 or 20 minutes. Please, when you call us, if we don't pick, don't be angry. You can call us back. You talked about the fact that it moved from 3.6 to 3.8. But how come Cameroonians are not still feeling the impact? Because it doesn't suffice just speaking. Why are Cameroonians from the north to the south to the east to the west all are singing one song? The difficulties for them to put food on their table. How possible is that the economy is growing at the level of from 3.6 to 3.8, and yet one song keep re-echoing from the nooks and crannies that the economy is not doing well? Is it that this money from this growth rate is in the pockets of some few selected individuals?
Mr. Javis, I want to tell you that there's no country where everybody can say everybody is satisfied. But
I'm talking about the majority.
Sincerely, things are very difficult as far as consumables are concerned. But my president said it very clear. It is not a Cameroonian situation. It's a global issue that has been caused by the war in Ukraine and the COVID-19. But despite all that, we are making some progress, and that is why we have realized some projects during these past years, like roads and bridges and the rest. So I think that we have to follow what he said, that we should face 2023 with a lot of confidence and determination. And I want to say that we are not the worst of nations, as I always say. Things might be getting rough, but as compared to other countries, we are not the worst. At least we are moving forward. Though the pace might not be that which is desired by everybody, but we are making some progress. At least a growth rate of 0.2% cannot satisfy the whole nation. And that is why President Paul Biya is calling on all of us to join hands to make sure that we build this country that's going to be an El Dorado for us to live and enjoy this country. My question still stands. Yes. That President Biya, your chairman of the party, insinuated or mentioned in his speech that we are experiencing a growth rate from 3.6 as of 2021 to 3.8 as of 2022. We are looking at about additional 2%, 0.2. Now, my question is, if we're experiencing this, and yet the basic necessity or the impact is not felt from the streets of Douala, from the streets of Yaoundé, from the streets of Eboloa, from the streets of Boya, from the streets of Ngaoundéré, from the streets of Northwest region, those who are the bike riders, those who are doing menial jobs, the silent majority are not feeling the impact. Is it that this money is being enjoyed by a selected few, or is being embezzled by people of bad faith, in which your president has called for social responsibility? Yeah, that's one aspect. We know that of recent, President Paul Biya, when we talk about investment, we cannot deny the fact, because you know that President Paul Biya is a non-nonsense president, and of late there are some people in the government which we didn't expect that they can be called up for questioning by the anti-corruption committee, who were called up, and they were alleged to have embezzled billions of CFA. I think if I hear say the money, some people have not embezzled this money that is having a negative effect on the society, then I'm not being honest to myself. It's true that we are making some progress, but there are some people that President Paul Biya trusted them, gave them the confidence, and they have abused the confidence. And that's why I want to believe that this 2023, we are going to have more inmates in Kundenge, because investigations are going on, and you cannot leave an Eldorado in Cameroon at the expense of the common man. So I think that President Paul Biya is going to take a bold step this 2023, and that's why he has called on us Cameroonians to look at the future with confidence and determination.
You say President Paul Biya is going to take a bold step. Let me do some quick fact check. On the 31st of December 2021, President Biya in his address made mention of the fact that those who have embezzled, those who have actually chopped Cameroon's money will be propped, will face the law. And he also talked about the can money, because we're talking about the can gate, where a lot of money went down into pockets of private pockets, and rumors of investigations went on. He also made mention about the COVID gate, and he also made mention that we are 1 year since that, and he's making another speech. We have not been told accountability. As of last year, I made this promise, and this year, these are the number of persons that were caught. Nothing seems to have occurred as far as the investigation of those concerned with CAN is concerned, those also who concerned with COVID is concerned, and also if we go back in retrospect where sometime he asks who sung the proof. As far as that is concerned, should we also looking at the fact that we should wait for another 26 years for these people to be arrested, as we Cameroonians have waited for decentralization for almost 26 years in 1996 for it to come, thanks to the fact that we have a misunderstanding, caption conflict, before it was accelerated?
Javis, the sledgehammer of law does not run at a supersonic rate. It runs very slowly and steadily. People have embezzled, yes, but investigation must be carried out and they are proven guilty before they can be taken to custody. We are not running a state where somebody just pointed that you embezzled. They just arrest you and go and lock you up. That's why I say that of recent we have had it was even shocking that people learned that Ferdinand Gongo, the almighty Ferdinand Gongo, had to face the anti-corruption committee. I want to believe that the procureur, they have not yet finished their investigations. And as soon as they finish their investigations, investigation is not something that you can say, okay, I'm doing it a day or two, because it entails digging deep into files, digging deep to have proofs of something that somebody has done. So I want to believe that what he said, at least this year, we are going to have some inmates in Kundenge. I want to believe in his word, because if you look at the number of ex-ministers that are in prison, you understand that President Paul Biya is somebody that does not like other people to live an Eldorado in Cameroon on the expense of the common people who are suffering.
Now, you just land on the issue that you are very confident, like you spoke with President Biya,
yes,
that a lot of inmates, yes, those who have embezzled state money, will be found guilty. When found guilty, will be sent to the jail. And you have the opinion that the law grinds slowly, steadily, but surely.
Yes.
How far are you confident that these persons, I ask again, because we look at the money for CAN, it took a while. And we are counting before CAN was announced, a lot of money was embezzled, CAN has come and gone, COVID-19, a lot of money was embezzled and they have come and gone. And many are also saying that those even arrested are arrested for political reasons.
that is their opinion. I say something. Cameroonians are very funny people. When people embezzle and they are taken to Kondenge, we complain. When people embezzle and are not taken to Kondenge, we complain. So sometimes I don't really know what we Cameroonians we want, because it's as if we instead of joining hands together to help President Paul Biya achieve emergence, we are always looking for faults, looking for a way to discredit him, which for me is not good. If people are, the procurator that we have in this nation, they are not fools. If somebody has been investigated by the competent authority and been found guilty and sent to prison, who am I to say that he is not guilty?
Okay, let us still stay by the fact we are looking at the aspect of honesty. I want us to look at what your chairman said as far as inflation is concerned, because this is a very important issue at the level of Cameroon. He said, in which he noted that inflation is on a global scale, and he said in the speech that inflation remained reasonable, well below the global average, that it remains below. President Biya said inflation remains reasonably well below the global average. I want us to come now into basic reality. Was President Biya right on this in terms of reality, or was he out of touch with reality as far as those in the nation they are concerned?
I think he was right.
With reality on the ground?
Yeah, we might have some increase in the prices of basic commodity, but the incivility in some of our Cameroonian, the unpatriotic nature of some of us, has portrayed the nation as a dead nation. Because when they say increase in prices, people have taken upon themselves to add prices of certain communities to an extent that the state is not even aware of it. Let me give you a glaring example. I left Baminda on Friday, reaching the park, and learned that transport fare had increased from 5,000 francs to 6,000 francs. Calculate the percentage increase. Is almost 20% increase. That is an individual taking upon himself to increase price, whereas the state is not aware of it. And I stood there and I told many Cameroonians that, why are we so foolish? You come here and they just increase price from 5,000 to 6,000 francs, and we are just paying like sheep. So we look at all these things. If we don't have that civic responsibility in us, we might think that Cameroon is the worst nation. But it's not like that. So we should be jingoistic. That's have the love for our country. Because no matter what you do, you remain a Cameroonian. No matter how much you admire other countries, the fact that you are a Cameroonian, that part of you cannot be torn away from you. So at least that civic responsibility, we should learn to have that civic responsibility. We should learn to have love for each other. We should learn to feel the pains of our brothers and sisters. With that, at least we'll have a better life.
You can call us on the numbers on your screen if you want to wish Happy New Year to some few persons. You can call us and wish Happy New Year to some few persons as far as the program is on, as long as the program is unfolding. Mr. Kimbeng, I will do some quick follow-up. You talked about the aspect of inflation, in which you made mention that President Biya was in touch with reality, but many bets to differ. Let me quote you instances. For example, inflation is defined as an economic term which is defined as the increase in prices of commodity, whereas the purchasing power of money or the value for money drops, where more money buys fewer goods. And let me just take on this message before I get to my questions. You are all happy Sunday and happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes, we are getting you.
Yes, it's Joseph from Keubou.
Yes, Joseph, you right on. We are New Year wishes.
Yes, I want to wish Happy New Year to my friend in Dumbe, Masen Dumbe, and to my girlfriend, Bison Bernadette, and all those who know Joseph from Moliko.
Thank you very much, and Happy New Year to you in the town of legendary hospitality.
I want to one or two things before I go.
Yes.
Yes, concerning the president's speech, so far so good. I want to, first of all, before commenting on it, I want to first of all say, is it normal for a single person to control that?
Sorry, we'll be coming back to you. Well, we are taking just of course as far as the program is concerned. Cameroon is a democratic state in as much as the normalcy. Cameroon is a democratic state, and we are not challenging the constitution. I want to come back to you. You made mention about the fact that inflation in Cameroon, President Biya was in touch with reality, but many bet to differ. And for example, inflation, as I define, is the increase in price of commodities where the value for money drops, and value for money is what money can buy in terms of goods and services. And we look at the value for money in common parlance, or the people who are watching us. Let me just lay my foundation by asking my question so that they know what value for money is. In common parlance, value for money is a situation where if 5,000 francs can buy 2 bags of rice, it means the value for 5,000 francs is 2 bags of rice. If 2,000 francs can buy a bucket of groundnut, it means the value for money the value for that 2,000 is a bucket of groundnut. So does in economy. If 200 francs can get you kwakoko in my 17, it means the value for 200 francs is kwakoko. And if 100 francs can get you a cup of groundnut or a cup of gari, it means the value for 100 francs is a cup of gari or cup of groundnut. If 25 francs could get you 2 pieces of bread, it means the value for 25 francs is 2 pieces of bread. This day, let's look at the reality. What can 25 francs buy in the market? What can 100 francs buy these days in the market in terms of the what we used to have? A cup of gari used to be sold at 75 francs. It means that a value for 75 francs is a cup of gari. But now you cannot get a cup of gari for 75 francs. It means that 75 francs now doesn't have that value as compared to what it used to have. Mr. Kimbeng Vitalis, having explained this to the viewers to understand the value for money and inflation rate, do you still stand by the fact that President Biya was in touch with reality if we look at the high rate of inflation in Cameroon in context of Douala?
Yeah, let not misinterpret the president's speech. He acknowledged the fact that there is inflation.
He's saying a global, inflation
yes.
Global.
Yes.
Are you sure that
he acknowledged the fact that there is inflation, but that our own is not the worst? That is what he meant. He did not deny the fact that there is inflation. He said there is global inflation, but that our own is not the worst. We have not gone beyond that line, that red line. So he did not, in totality, say there's no inflation. He acknowledged it. That's why I'm saying he was very honest in his speech. He acknowledged that there is inflation, but that we have not yet reached the red line.
No, he did not talk about the red line. He said, and I quote,
yes,
that inflation remain reasonable, keyword, reasonable, well below the global average.
Yes.
Reasonable, well below the global average.
Meaning he was comparing Cameroon with other countries.
Yes. So if let's even compare Cameroon with other countries.
Yes.
Let's look at the next door Nigeria.
Yes.
Let's look at let's look at why we are doing this comparison.
Yes.
Let's look at the basic salary.
Yes.
Because it suffices that you measure the basic salary. Nigeria, the basic salary is higher than Cameroon. Come to Kenya, the basic minimum salary is higher than Cameroon. Come to Ivory Coast, the basic salary is higher than Cameroon. These nations are facing inflation. All these nations are facing inflation. I don't want to look at the West.
Yes.
I'm looking at African countries. I'm sure that even you move right down to South Africa, it's the same. You move to Uganda, the same. You move to Tanzania, the same. Basic salary higher than that of Cameroon. And now coming to context where President Biya in touch with reality, when a bag of rice these days is approximately 28,000 francs CFA, as compared to 2 years ago, as compared to even the 21 year ago when we had the 3.6 growth, where a bag of rice was quite of cheap. He's in touch with reality when a red oil or vegetable oil is quite very expensive. Can you tell honestly?
The thing is that government has a standard price.
Let me take on this caller. He's been so that hello, happy Sunday.
Hello?
Yes, happy Sunday.
Can I partake?
Yeah, you just have the opportunity to wish Happy New Year to some few persons. Yes, you just have the opportunity to wish Happy New Year to some few persons.
Yeah. Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Actually, I am enjoying the program.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and wish you Happy New Year.
I want to say Happy New Year to you guys. I want to say Happy New Year to my beautiful wife.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
I want to say Happy New Year to Mr. Aju, Richard, and the family in Limbe.
Yes.
I want to say Happy New Year to the Chief of Cap Cameroon, Chief Mulema Mabua.
Yes.
I want to say Happy New Year to the Senior Councillor Colin Stambo of Cap Cameroon.
Yes.
I want to say Happy New Year to the family of Hamon, the Association of Hamon in Cap Cameroon, and especially the President.
Thank you, sir.
And I also want to say Happy New Year to the Bakou family.
Okay, sir.
And the world.
Thank you. Stay blessed.
Have a nice day.
Same to you. Yes, Mr. Vitalis, you were talking about the inflation rate and that we should not compare.
Yeah, I said that government have standard prices. Standard prices.
But who takes responsibility now for this?
No one said that we civic responsibility. People are not honest. Cameroonians are not honest enough. Because when you look at the price index given by the government, what it's transpiring in the market is not what has been given by the government. So government is judging for it, looking at its price index, what it has given to the market as the prices of the commodities. So if people go to the quarters and they decide to inflate the prices, I don't think that we should put that responsibility on the government. Yes, because government has a price, a standard price that they have given. This is the price. This is the standard price.
Okay, Mr. Vitalis, yes. I want a yes or no answer on this now.
Yes.
Do we have price control mechanism in Cameroon?
We have.
You have a Ministry of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprise in Cameroon.
We have.
Do we have it at the level of regional decentralized levels?
There are
all the 10 regions.
They are all existing.
Do we have also the divisional level?
They are existing.
Are they receiving salaries?
Very well.
Why don't they do their job?
Dishonesty, incivility, the inability to do our. That's why President Pobia was crying. The inability to carry out our function when we are given the responsibility to do it.
Does that not mean that there is a problem in the hiring process of these ministers?
There is a problem of mentality.
No, the hiring process of these ministers.
There is a problem of mentality. Mentality. People have the mentality that once something is government, they can do anything with it, which is wrong.
Okay.
If we don't see, I was watching football the other day.
Let me take on this call.
Yes.
Happy New Year. Okay. Yes, you say.
I was watching football the other day. After they finished from the stadium, I saw the Japanese picking dirt from the...
cleaning.
Cleaning. That is civil responsibility that President Paul Biya is expecting from us.
Hold the line. Hello, Happy New Year and good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead and wish Happy New Year to some few persons. Thank you, sir.
And Happy New Year to all my friends in Douala.
Yes, sir.
It's DJ Barnabas International.
DJ Barnabas International, Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, and I wish Happy New Year to my best friend there in Douala, DJ Taka.
Okay, I'm sure he's following the program. Okay. So, Mr. Vitali, you were comparing. Don't you think that civil responsibility is actually nurtured, built, and not forced?
See, I watch a video on Facebook where some youth in Mabanda, children above those 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, 9 years, they were in off-license drinking alcohol. I know what people said. Napobe picking them. You see that's
okay, Mr. Vitalis.
Napobe picking them. Yeah, I want to see the irresponsibility of parents
the irresponsibility of the society, and they want to hang everything on the neck of President Paul Biya, which is very wrong.
Again, I come
At
back.
least as I'm a father, I should play my own role before I blame President Paul Biya.
I come back.
If I'm given any job to do and I know that I'm receiving salary, I should do it at my best before I blame President Paul Biya.
Good happy Sunday.
Hello.
Yeah, happy New Year, happy Sunday.
Same to you, and this is the chief priest of Mekaf.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and wish happy New Year to some few persons.
Yes, I do want to wish a happy New Year to the entire Mekaf elites of the whole nation, the whole world. I wish them happy New Year and to you people in the state there, especially for my phone of Mekaf there in Yaoundé. And my barrister in Bamenda, barrister Donald.
Okay.
And barrister Willie brought in Bamenda.
Okay.
And all of the Mekaf people in the northwest and southwest, all over the country, and the diasporas in Europe.
Thank you, sir.
As today, as we are enjoying the new year, I'm saying that blessing to everybody.
Yes, sir.
To my people, to my people.
Okay, sir.
And to
Thank you.
okay.
Happy New Year.
Mostly to the some of them, the president, branch president.
Hello, happy New Year.
Hello, happy New Year. Yeah, happy New Year.
Yeah, who are you and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, this is Petit Canada calling from Chumari Big Babaki.
Yes, Petit, go ahead and wish happy New Year.
Yeah, this is Petit Canada calling from Chumari Big Babaki.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Let me say happy New Year to my good friend Emmanuel Z. CITV Mamenda.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me say special New Year to my father Kundo Jacob in Yaoundé, to our friend the Lower Highness from Richmond Benjamin, to my neighbor Mr. Christopher, and not forgetting my brother Mr. Joe Maga in Bamenda, not forgetting Emmanuel Z. Baka Derek in Ababa FM, and all the listeners of the radio station, and all of you in the studio, and all the fans on the board.
Thank you, happy New Year. Bye-bye. You have the opportunity to call us to wish happy new year to some few persons on the program. As far as this program is concerned, just to wish happy new year, my guests do the analysis. Happy new year to you, sir. Good morning and happy new year to you.
Javis.
Yes, who is calling?
Good morning, Mr. Javis. Good morning and happy new year.
Happy new year, sir.
I'm calling from Chico.
Okay.
From Chico.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I want to wish happy new year to my lovely baby, Nikki. I want to wish happy new year to all the students of GSS Bombay Bakundu, Batch 1 and 2.
Yes. Please, can you reduce your volume?
Yes.
I want to say when you call us, please try to reduce the volume of your receiver. I receive your greetings because I am also an ex-student from the government secondary school Bombay Bakundu. Happy New Year to all those of you watching us. Happy New Year, and go ahead and wish us Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, who is calling? Who is calling? Hello, Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Who is calling us?
Joseph from where?
Yeah, Joseph. Good day, sir. And go ahead and wish Happy New Year to some few persons.
I want to wish Happy New Year to my family at home in Davante.
Yes.
To the Abdul family, grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I'm wishing a Happy New Year to my loving wife.
Yes.
And to all you people in the studio.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, sir. We want to react on some of the messages which has actually been sent by some viewers. This good morning and thanks for joining us. Good morning and thanks for joining us. Who is calling, please?
Good morning, Mr. Tah Mai Javis.
Good morning, sir.
Happy New Year to you and your panelists.
Thank you very much, sir. Where are you calling us from and where are you?
I'm calling you from Yaoundé and I'm wishing my wife and children Happy New Year.
Yes, sir.
My boss, Mr. Wanyu Celestine.
Yes, sir.
All my colleagues and my families in Limbe, Biya, Bamenda, and Douala.
Yes, sir.
And my family in Lasin Noni subdivision.
Yes, sir.
And the entire Noni people in Yaoundé and Cameroon at large.
Thank you very much, sir.
I wish them all blessed and happy and prosperous New Year.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you also.
Yes. Let's take on some reaction, please. We may not be able to pick your calls for now. Let me just take on this one last call before we take the next set of messages and calls. Hello, happy. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Who is calling us and where are you calling us from? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good day, sir, and thanks for joining us.
This is Fontemilus from Bengi.
Yes, sir, from Momo Division.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, go ahead and wish Happy New Year. Go ahead and wish Happy New Year. We'll take on some few messages before we come back. This one really says, what are you saying that this one, Mark Amos Andy says 25 francs is not even accepted by some churches these days. And just to tell you how bad the situation is, that even churches don't accept 25 francs these days. And also this one really says, I wish you guys a very happy new year. Illegal price increase is to tell you that the government has no power control this part of the country. From Bamenda to Fundong, you have 14 checkpoints, including that of the Boises in the bushes, and each control is 1,000. So you can imagine why traders in Fundong should increase prices of goods in that town. It is not government that authorizes. Is it not the government that authorizes those checkpoints? Pride King writing from Fundong. This one read, it says, please just keep the good work you guys are doing. I really enjoyed the program. Thanks, House of Commons. Thank you too, and happy new year. This one read, it says, good afternoon. Your guest is asked to compare 2021 with 2022, and he escaped there and instead compare Cameroon with other poor countries. Why can't he compare Cameroon with other rich country? This is coming from Binlo. This one read, it says, happy new year to you guys in the studio. Hello, meaning we can call and participate. There are no some that you can call and participate. The lines are open. We were not picking calls when we were laying the foundation. This other person is calling. Hello, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. Oh, we just lost that caller. Hello, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Who are you and where are you calling us from? And
I'm Kingsley calling from Edinburgh.
oh, Kingsley, happy new year to you. Go ahead and wish happy new year.
Okay, I want to wish happy new year to all my friends here in Edinburgh, to all my families in Douala. Especially happy new year to my junior sister in Yaoundé. Say happy new year to her. And I also like to wish the family of President Paul Biya Happy New Year also.
Thank you very much. The family of President Paul Biya is following.
We are there.
Thank you, Kingsley.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we will suspend the calls for now. We'll continue the program. We'll continue the calls later. Let me take on those of you who have sent us SMS. This one reads, it says, my name is Juan from Biya. Mr. Javis, please can you tell the man on the panel that we don't want people to go to prison. We want them to pay back our money. This other reads, says, good afternoon, Mr. Tah Mai Joseph from Biya. Permit me to chip in some concerning the president's speech. Cameroonians are tired of promises, and what of you? Basic foodstuffs are increasing day in, day out. The government is saying nothing. This one reads, it says, good afternoon to you in the studio. Randopo event writing from Limbe. I wish to say Happy New Year. Thank God for our lives. I wish my brother Muhammad in Kumba Happy New Year. This one reads, it says, a good day and Happy New Year. Please, the president's speech will only be accepted by dishonest Cameroonians. A speech without ordering the war in the southwest and northwest to stop. The president actually called on those to drop their arms. I'm Derek and Jim Derek from Bamenda. Fundong, Happy New Year to all those of you. Thank you very much, Derek. Happy New Year to those of you watching us. This one reads, Happy New Year to you, Mr. Javis. I think the only way Cameroon can move forward is for the president to the president has, of course, the president. Your message is gotten. Please, if you call us, just keep calling because we may not want to take interrupt the program. This one reads, it says, good day to you all in the studios of Common. I wish a very happy new year to my husband, Mr. Golov Konso, and to my big sister, Yemzi Modest. Thank you. This one reads, it says, good day, Mr. Javis. Happy New Year, and also I want to wish a very good day, Mr. Javis, and Happy New Year. Good day and Happy New Year, Mr. Javis. The speech of the president is always full of hope promises, which don't always come to reality. For the past 40 years, CPDM and their supporters should be thinking of going on a deserved leave of no return, for they have brought nothing but misery to the silent majority in Gole Hane, writing from the town of friendship, that is Limbe. I want to take on this one. It says, Happy New Year to you guys in the studio, and thank you very much. Now, Mr. Vitalis.
Yes.
Let's come back to the studio. We'll be taking calls shortly. In the next 10 minutes, we'll take calls, but let's come now to focus on some basics. Mr. Vitalis, you also made mention of the fact that the president talked about, acknowledged the issue of epileptic electricity supply in Cameroon. And he's mentioning this. Is the president new in Cameroon when we are talking about epileptic electricity, right from the 10 regions, with Nanga, Eboko, Longpanga, Minvili? We also even have Sinsanaga, all these facilities that were developed for Cameroon to have enough energy supply, and yet we are having epileptic, and he called on those charged with this sector to see that these problems are resolved. Is the president new in Cameroon?
Yes, Mr. Javis, before I continue, I want to say Happy New Year to some elites of Dongamantum, especially Madam Sunday Judith Epos Achidi, the General Manager of Camtel, and Mr. Fukalistus Gentry, for putting smiles on some children in Dongamantum during this festive period. I also want to say Happy New Year to my brother, Honorable Thamfomin Galak Gerard, and the wife and the family. I say Happy New Year to all of you. And I also want to congratulate my brother, Mr. Chuye Mbonkur, for his new appointment that came out yesterday. Before I proceed, I want to say that President Paul Biya is not new in Cameroon. And talking about epileptic power supply, he made mention of it
meaning that he is ready to make sure that these things don't repeat itself in 2023. And that is why he said he has commissioned those in charge to make sure that we don't experience all this power outage this year. So I don't want to doubt him. I want to build my confidence on him. It's only in 2024 that if these things are not realized, that is when I can doubt my president. But for now, I want to give him the benefit of doubt. I want to give him that confidence that at least this year is going to be a different year.
When you say he is ready, he has been in power since 6 November 1982, at the time when we have one-party system, mono-party politics. And in 1990, when he ushered in multi-party politics, won the first democratically multi-party elections from 1990 to date. Are you telling us that within the past years, he has not been ready?
No, if we say that
you are saying that he's now ready.
If we say that, look, there's something. There's a saying that Rome was not built in a day. Even the United States of America that we look at as an El Dorado, they are still continuing with their development. President Paul Biya have been doing these developmental projects have been going on. We have a lot of rural electrification going on in Cameroon for the past years. We should acknowledge that. At first, I didn't have a light in my village, but I think now we have it, and all those places. So if we have this extension has brought some problems, I think if he has now deemed it necessary to maybe see into it that more power is added so that those problems can be curtailed, I think we should give him that trust, that confidence, and we should also support him to see that he realizes all these dreams for us. Because at this juncture in time, I want to believe that whatever President Paul Biya is doing, he did it for us and not for himself. Okay. So I think that it is our responsibility to support him and to give him all the confidence so that at least he can realize all those things that he promised us.
Generally, I don't like comparing Cameroon with Western nations. Yes. Like looking at Cameroon with its fellow African nations. Yes. You said Rome was not built in a day.
Yes.
Let's look at Cameroon's GDP now and compare with that of most of the countries within the West and East Africa. Now, I don't want to look at CEMAC because Cameroon is a giant of CEMAC.
Yes.
And CEMAC, even in CEMAC regions, there are some with basic salary higher than that of Cameroon. So I don't even want to go to CEMAC. When you say Rome was not built in a day, what do you mean? Do you mean that we should mark time within the next 100 years, or things that should be able to we should not do them, take gradual steps? I'll go to an example. You move to East Africa, you look at they don't have the number of facilities that we have in terms of which can generate electricity. Cameroon has more than they have. In terms of population, they have more population than Cameroon. We are still unable. We have hundreds of billions of money embezzled by state officials. I put it to you, is there not a problem with the hiring process of ministers under their regime run by the CPDM government?
Yes, if I say there is no problem at the helm of the government.
I'm saying the hiring process of this minister.
Yes. The hiring process.
The hiring process.
The way they are choosing to.
Because if you see,
I understand you.
In all the appointments, you happen to have members that embezzle. You happen to have members who cannot take ownership of their ministry, small and medium-sized enterprise. People are increasing price daily. Ministry of Transport, you go to my 17 bus station. As we speak, every Friday and Saturday, those unauthorized vehicles increase their prices, or even the authorized vehicles increase their prices from Biya from my 17 to Douala. Those who don't carry overload, you are supposed to pay 2,000 at one point, but now some Saturdays and Friday you pay 3,000, 4,000.
It still boils down to civil responsibility.
No, not civil responsibility. Accountability.
If people, you don't expect President Paul Biya to come and sit in my
I expect a Minister of Transport.
Yes,
I expect a regional delegate of transport.
Very good.
I expect a divisional delegate of transport.
If he does not have that love for his nation to do the job, to make sure that everything moves smooth, President Paul Biya cannot do the work alone. He has entrusted part of the job to people.
Does that not bring you back to my question that is there not a problem with the hiring process of these ministers?
The problem is mentality. People do wrong things in Cameroon not because they don't know how to do it. People enjoy doing wrong things. because they benefit from the wrong things. We should face facts.
When you say mentality, are you saying that if Mr. Kimbeng is appointed Minister of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprise, he will not ensure that prices are regulated as should be because Cameroonians have problems with mentality? That is why I'm different. That is why I look at the truth on the face and tell the truth. So the hiring process should not look for those who are different? There's no machine that detects those who are honest. There's no machine that will say, okay, these are honest, machine, come and enter the machine, these are honest people. Then their track records. Yes. Even if we have people who have very beautiful track records. We even have pastors that we believe in them, we trust them, but at the end we hear that we have very terrible stories coming from those pastors. So this issue, it all boils down to loving your people, being willing to save your people. Don't only look at yours. Many people look only at themselves. Because as soon as somebody is appointed, his village people, they start jubilating as if he's a minister for that village. So that mentality, Mr. Kimbeng, I don't have a problem with the fact that Cameroonians don't have mentality crisis. In fact, Africa focusing only on agriculture because agriculture is not the only basic commodities. The government is increasing 10% on export of agricultural products. It's not the profit made from those. We have the councils, not even say the burden on the ministers. The councils, and most of the councils are run by CBDM. Majority.
And some are run by the SDF.
I say most.
And they still do the same thing.
Most. No, I'm saying most.
Yes.
Now, if you look at this context there for Mr. Vitalis, is there not a problem with the hiring process? You talked about the issue of vetting, that it doesn't necessarily elude or remove the aspect of
corruption.
Corruption.
Yes.
But at least there is an ingredient of measuring to say that, okay, you came up with this, your children had this asset, you had this asset, because we have bank transactions. People are not blind. We have intelligence services. We have the gendarmeries. We have the police. We also have the state supreme audit. These people can be audited. These people can be always, if you will the property to somebody else, we will see that, okay, you have traveled to Europe. We see you traveling. We see you carrying hand luggages. We do the scanning in other countries. These are things that have been not to eliminate, but to at least minimize the rate of corruption. Is there not a problem again, I put it to you, with the hiring process, that ministers are not vetted, people don't declare their asset? Is it in itself not a recipe for corruption and embezzlement? And in itself not promoting the common man, not to be patriotic?
That one can only contribute for around 20%.
At least there's a contribution.
Yeah, they contribute, yes.
I wanted you to learn on that.
They can contribute at least 20%. But when you have a society where everybody thinks that my problem is President Paul Biya.
No, not every you. You don't think that.
Yeah,
so
I don't think that. I don't think that. That's why sometimes I told somebody the other day that, look, I'm a Cameroonian, and the man was able. When I asked him, the price is 5,000 francs from Douala to from Bamenda to Douala. Why is that it has gone up to 6,000 francs? See, that's how our manager said that we should do. I said no, I cannot pay it. I said I don't encourage corruption, and I told my grounds. Until I paid the 5,000 francs. But other Cameroonians will not do that. So no, they don't talk saying at 6,000 francs. They start paying.
What if they say, okay, you will not use the service? They will refund your money. You will not use the service.
I'll go to elsewhere, Mr. Javis.
And you go to elsewhere, they still say so.
I'll go to elsewhere.
So you will not end up traveling.
I am not traveling. I want to set an example. I want to be a different Cameroonian.
So implicitly or explicitly,
I want to be a different Cameroonian, different like this.
Explicitly, was the Minister of Transport, the regional delegation, supposed to send people to monitor
even if those people are sent on the field, when they reach there, because they don't have that love for their nation, they don't have that love for their brother, they will give them money and they will still allow the ills to continue. That's why I take upon myself that I'm going to be a different Cameroonian. I'm going to act differently. And that many people don't like me, and I know it. Because I act differently. I do my own thing differently. I do my own thing the way it's supposed to be. I look at the truth on the face and tell the truth. This is what is supposed to happen.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Tah Mai Javis. Happy New Year to you. The way forward 2023 is to transform speeches into real action. We need jobs, good road, electricity, water. Above all, this crisis should come to an end. Pa and Ken riding from Bangalore. You can call us now. We are receiving calls. Happy Sunday to you. And hello? This one right. It says, good afternoon to you guys in the studio. Your panelists, greeting Mr. Javis. Please ask their panelists what President Bobet the panelist is amongst the group of people killing this country. I'm not sure because he's giving his honest opinion, and you two have the luxury. Hello, happy Sunday. Yes, happy Sunday, and we go ahead and wish Happy New Year to some few persons.
I want to wish Happy New Year to my medium prime. I would like to wish Happy New Year to the fund of Songong.
Yes, sir.
I would like to wish Happy New Year to my parents in Bokam.
Yes, sir.
I would like to wish Happy New Year to my lovely wife and the baby. I would like to wish Happy New Year to each and everyone, and Happy New Year to everybody. I would like to wish Happy New Year to that guy in the studio, and to tell him that he should speak the reality that is in the ground, not to go far talking things that they are not real.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A special Happy New Year to you, Mr. Nyam Robert, who is a very active member of the House of Common Crew, Mr. Nyam Robert in the United States of America. We want to use this opportunity to say Happy New Year to you and to appreciate what you've been doing as far as helping Cameroonians are concerned. So Happy New Year to you and your family, Mr. Nyam Robert. Hello?
Hello, sir. Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year. Go ahead. I wish Happy New Year.
This is Lambe Kevin calling from Carrefour, Kalomie.
Yes, sir.
I'm so glad to participate live on the program. Just to tell you that the New Year here is very soft because I'm enjoying with my boss. You know, I work in a bakery, and imagine the boss coming to sit and enjoy the New Year with the manager. That's so nice.
That's the spirit we should encourage in Cameroon. Happy New Year.
Thank you very much, and greetings to the guests in the studio. I love the way he's talking about Kambe. You know, sometimes I think that since I'm from with division and with the way it is, sometimes I want to settle in Kambe. Seriously, I want to say hello to my beautiful wife who is taking no stone unturned by feeding everybody that's coming in the house. She's in the kitchen now, but I'm sure that the volume is enough that she's listening. That at least Daddy is saying hi to you.
Well, we are not eating 2 here in the studio, so you can.
We are expecting you. You can take a flight from Douala Yaoundé. It's not too far. We are expecting you guys. Very true.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you, sir.
Oh, it's at my media prime.
Good morning, sir. Who is calling us?
I'm Stanley Lawrence from Bamenda.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year to you.
Same to you, my brother.
Go ahead and wish Happy New Year to some few persons.
Yes, I'm wishing Happy New Year to all the top community in Bamenda, Douala, and Yaoundé.
We could join.
And very well. And to you people in the studio.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. We were talking about ministers. What about? I used to hear budgets are voted for the end for the year.
Yes,
every
sir.
year budgets are voted in ministries. At the end of the year, you will not hear that this is the balance sheet or what. This is how we use the money, and this is what is remaining.
Yes, sir.
Or what, and nobody cares.
Okay, sir.
So it's a very funny situation. It's a very funny situation.
Thank you, sir.
Happy New Year to you all.
Thank you. Happy New Year, and stay safe. And Happy New Year to your children too, there, and families.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Very well.
Yes, I wish to take this opportunity to thank the youth of Nkambe who came out yesterday massively to clean their town. That's the type of civil responsibility we want, to make their town clean so that they can enjoy the new year in cleanliness. That is what President Biya needs.
Happy New Year, Mr. Tah Mai Javis.
Who is calling us, and where are you calling us from?
Yes, this is Marcel. I'm calling from Bamenda.
Yes, for me.
Yes, I'm a worker in Tuba Council.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and wish Happy New Year.
Yes, I wish you a pleasant New Year to your family and the entire my media prime crew.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I wish to wish Happy New Year to my lovely wife, Lena Clarice, and my lovely mom, Madame Mary Bongfen, who is in Keubou.
Yes, sir.
Although with the crisis, by the grace of God, she's still alive with my siblings. I also want to wish Happy New Year to my lovely mother-in-law and my lovely father-in-law who are in Bamenda at Concha Street.
Yes, sir.
And also to my uncle in America, from Patrick Toomey.
Okay, sir.
And my uncle in Tarikun, Mr. Pajis Ngoran.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. I love your program. God bless you and give you more strength.
Thank you, sir. We want to also wish Happy New Year to you, Mr. Ning Liupo in Moya. Happy New Year to you, Mr. Kagolov Abung in Moya. Happy New Year to you, Tari Tandum. Happy New Year to all those of you watching us from the different parts of the globe. I may not be able to call all your names. We want to say Happy New Year to all those of you watching us from the different parts of the nation. Hello, Happy New Year, sir, and thanks for joining us.
Happy New Year.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is. Happy New Year, sir, and thanks for joining us. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yes, my name is Eureka Joseph.
Yes, Eureka. We could zoom.
Yeah, very well. I'm calling from Yaoundé.
Yes, sir.
I'm a taxi driver. Yeah, very. I'm a taxi driver.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and wish Happy New Year.
I want to wish Happy New Year to all in so communities in Yaoundé and Douala.
Yes, sir.
And especially to my mother, Mr. and Mrs. Papi Yurika.
Yes, sir.
And to my third friend, Mr. Lambert Kevin and Monte Chape Obili.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and all the staff, especially Mr. Kum Leonard.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year to you all.
Okay, sir. Very well.
Very well.
Okay. Want to also wish Happy New Year to you, Chevelicious. Happy New Year to you, TK. Happy New Year to those who are watching us from different corners in Yaoundé. Happy New Year, sir, and thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling from Yaoundé. My name is Levi.
Yes, sir.
I wish to say Happy New Year to all my friends in Yaoundé.
Yes, sir.
Those in Bamenda.
Yes, sir.
To my cousin in Douala and Iwaku Divide.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and I also wish to tell my brother in the studio that if the government can send out the price list of basic commodities at the disposal of the citizens of Cameroon,
Yes,
that
sir.
is going to help us a lot.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're out of time. We want to we just take on some 2 more calls. We're out of time. Hello, Happy New Year, and thanks for joining us.
Yes. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Grandpa, I'm calling direct from Tico, Southwest Tico. I want to wish Happy New Year to you in particular.
Thank you.
Because I am a key listener to this program from January to now.
Thank you.
So I want to wish Happy New Year to everybody who knows Grandpa and to my family at home and to everybody in Southwest.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I don't forget my pastor, Reverend Akana Vincent. I want to wish him a special Happy New Year.
Okay, we are out of time, Mr. Vitalis. I'll give you 1 minute to wish Happy New Year to some few persons.
I want to wish Happy New Year to Madame Liliane Kuku from Jimkam Village. She's working with Kamtel Mbamenda. I want to wish Happy New Year to my parents in Jakiri, Nsom, Mr. and Mrs. Tata Daniel. And I wish to wish Happy New Year to my auntie in Bonaberi, Auntie Victorine Boche, and to everybody that is watching this program. Thank you people very much.
And a special Happy New Year to you, Mr. Tame Brian, the CEO of BT Media Group. So welcome. And a special Happy New Year to you, Madam Tame Zinabo, who is also the managing Director of My Media Prime TV. Want to say the General Manager of My Media Prime TV, Madam Zinabu. Want to say Happy New Year to you, Mr. Kum Leonard, who is the DG, the Managing Director of My Media Prime TV. Want to say Happy New Year to all the staff members of My Media Prime TV, Noel Tamnjong, who is at the broadcast. Want to say Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to all those of you. John, who managed to produce this program today. We want to thank you very much, John, for producing the program. I want to say, Junior, a special Happy New Year to you for assisting us in the technical aspect of getting this program aired. And of course, Desmond Akeba, Christian Tebong, Vola Johnson, Happy New Year to you. Ewane Ella Nolinga Ngwa Desmond, Happy New Year to you. Christian Bowell, Happy New Year to all those of you. Frank, who is Frank Eno, Happy New Year to you. Yvette, Happy New Year to you. To all those of you at this welcome base, we want to also acknowledge you at this welcome. Happy New Year to you, Madam Priska. Happy New Year to you, Madam Adeline. And Happy New Year to all those of the field technicians of this welcome network. I want to thank you very much. Happy New Year to you, Mr. Nyam Robert, again from the United States of America. Mr. Nyam Robert has been a contributor and one of those assisting the vulnerables, helping those who are in need. A special Happy New Year to you. I leave you with this: no matter the matter, what matters is your matter. And what should matter for you is that you should stay out of trouble as you celebrate this New Year period. My name is Tah Mai Javis from Cameroon's commercial capital, Douala. Fengudom Bange. Bye-bye.
Welcome